at
it
again
with
the
Bad
News
Clams
podcast
coming
to
you
live
from
pre-recorded.
Oh, you fucked it up.
You were supposed to say pre-recorded.
That may have been my fault, but back at it again with the Bad News Clams podcast coming to you live, pre-recorded from the Clams Nest, and we have an awesome episode here. Today we have a special guest, Jason.
Hi.
Is here. Hello, Jason. How's it going?
What's going on?
Glad to have you
It
here.
is not Jason A. That we
not
previously
Jason
spoke
A.
about.
It is
Dude,
not
you gotta
Jason
get,
A.
you gotta get me up.
Dude, you are fine. Your audio levels are coming in
I would
just
also
great.
like to be able to hear myself a little more. There we go.
I'm just going to crank the shit out of your guys'.
No, my mic. I can't.
Well, I mean,
your mic is
might as well
fine.
blast me, I guess, at this point.
All right, there we go.
Oh, my
All right,
God.
so we have a great episode coming for you today. We have Giddy Up, Buck Off, 3 of the Week for Pete. Today in history, we have another ad. I said we had an ad last time, then I didn't say it. And then we have a great interview coming with Jason, and we're going to talk about his band, Jumping Ship.
That's me.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into opening statements. I'm going to start with us. I'm going to start with what I used to think leprosy was.
Was it like leopard spot?
So let me get that. Growing up and going to a Catholic elementary school and
Yeah.
junior high.
Why was leprosy such a big deal?
In the
for
Bible.
I thought it was a way bigger deal than it actually is.
So like whenever I heard that, I always just assumed the person would be turning into a leopard. I thought that's what the disease was.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I mean, people would want leprosy at that point.
Hell yeah.
Dude, you would want leprosy. They banished you to Hawaii,
That's pretty cool.
Leper Island.
You're probably going to die, though,
Oh,
but that's pretty
no.
cool.
It's a
God.
rather die in
Guess I
Hawaii.
better go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Wait. They banish people from the Middle East to go to Hawaii?
The Middle East.
I'm talking about like
Are you
in
talking
the
about,
Bible.
like, in the Bible, Jesus,
Oh.
Middle East?
Oh, one of the islands in, I think it's Lanai, maybe. They literally would
You could say
send-
that and we'd all agree with you. We have no idea.
They would send like the lepers to Hawaii.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's
That-
one-way ticket to Hawaii.
We should bring it back. Should be it be
Is
the,
that just
like
how
a
we get
new
a free
thing?
trip? We
It's-
advertise for leprosy?
We have
Go ahead.
leprosy.
Or like we restart it with a new disease, like
Ooh.
the flu.
Oh,
Just like-
damn. Well, then all the Hawaiian people will be pretty pissed at us. Bring that disease to that island.
bring the
them-
flu.
Well, not the flu. I didn't mean the flu. I meant like,
New leprosy.
well, there's that Chinese disease that's like
Oh,
killing
yeah, we'll
a bunch
talk
of
about
people. Okay.
We'll get into
all
that.
right,
You got
all right,
that?
all
All
right.
right, that was my opening statement. Patrick, what do you got?
Well, I kind of got two things. First and foremost, I want to talk about our new setup.
Mm.
So I know when we originally got the new mics, we were all hyping up our setup, but we got a new another table. We got Mr. Globe here, some nice trinkets up front, some flags. We are taking a video too, which we will be posting as well. So check that out. It looks pretty sweet. We're basically millionaires now. The other thing I wanted to talk about was a huge like RIP to your childhood. I know before we went live, we were just talking about some things from the childhood, but all of our childhood QBs are dropping like flies.
QBs?
Say that again.
All of our childhood QBs.
QBs. There you go.
QBs.
Quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you slurred it a bit. It was like QBs. But
yeah, they are. Who's still left from our childhood?
Me and Patrick were talking about this.
Okay.
So Big Ben,
All right.
how many more years maybe 1, 2 at
Also,
most.
all right. Never mind.
We
Go
still-
ahead.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. For now.
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers, which he's done
He's
probably
trash.
too.
He's so bad.
He's probably
I
done.
love watching him throw.
Yeah, the sidearm. It's wicked.
He's a madman. And his
just
trash
hear,
talk is awesome.
He
Yeah.
throws the
His
ball.
trash talk is second, which is crazy because he's like super Catholic.
It's like,
That's
hey
why he's got
partner,
9 kids.
what are you doing? And he's just like terrible trash talk. Who was the other? Who else is
Drew
left?
Brees.
Drew Brees.
Of course. How could
God.
you?
Oh, check out the video. Yeah, we do have a little Drew Brees trinket on Mr. Globe too.
Nice.
Is that it?
That's all that's left,
we
man.
thought of.
Oh shit.
I mean, would you include Aaron Rodgers in that?
I wouldn't.
No, probably not.
He's kind of old, isn't he?
He's kind of old, but
It's
I
like
don't- I wouldn't-
34.
because
I think.
before that was
Okay.
Favre, and that's more of the childhood than Rodgers. That would be.
I think he's
my
right
argument,
at the
yes.
point where it ended. Because when we were
Yeah.
talking,
He's
because
also
we were
on the
talking about how
downslope,
it
by the
was
way.
Eli, because
Right.
Eli just retired.
Eli
that's
just
why
dropped out.
That's why we started talking about this.
Did he just retire?
Yeah,
He did.
Wow.
Huge RIP too, because he's like a childhood
hero.
godsend hero.
for beating the
For
Patriots.
beating
Yeah.
the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
because I don't like seeing the Patriots win, and he did it twice.
That's
So
didn't-
wild.
I didn't at first like watching the Patriots win, but then like by their 6th, I was like, fuck it. Let's see how many they can win, you know?
I appreciate Tom Brady much more now than I used to. I used to hate him.
Yeah, everyone did. Everyone hated it, but now it's like, all right, he's the GOAT.
I was watching Eli Manning's retirement press conference today, and live during it, Tom Brady tweeted something along the lines of like, "Congratulations, great career." I'm not gonna lie though, I wish you never won a Super Bowl.
I saw that. That's fucking awesome.
So that's mine. What do you got?
Mine is James basically stole it. I was like, welcome, Jason, onto the pod.
Oh, thanks, man.
Sorry.
Friend, musician,
Friend,
great
colleague.
Guy.
Thanks, bro.
Like a story. We met in acting class, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
It was
was
awesome.
terrible.
It was so much fun.
Trash.
It was crazy because like from what it was like, so it was a combo class where it was a 100 and a 200 level. And I was in the 200 level because it was my second time like going through it.
Flex.
Did you fail the first time?
No. Like it was.
Dude, he was amazing.
You went through acting 1
I'll
and then
get more
acting
on
2.
that.
And then like I was in acting 2, he was in acting 1, but it was the same class. We just got graded like super hard. And I remember like Jason just being super like kind of shy, which is fine because it's stage. I was my first time too.
Dude.
And then like I heard his music and I was like, what the fuck? Surprised the shit out of me. It was awesome.
There we
like,
go.
It was good. It was phenomenal. And I was just like,
thanks,
wait,
man.
this is Jason singing? Holy shit. Like, because I remember like just being like nervous on stage and then like just, I know it's different.
It's like letting it fly outside of that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The thing with the whole acting and everything, I couldn't remember my damn lines ever. Like that's what made it so nerve wracking. Like at least, you know, like if you're involved with music or like, you know, you're singing and stuff and you really like know the song or you're feeling the song, you know, like obviously that's going to stick with you. You're not really going to forget.
Yeah.
Every 2 seconds, I would be looking at
like,
McKay in the little audience or whatever. It'd be me and one other person on the stage. And I'd be just looking at him, I'm like, please give me the line.
So it was like,
give it to me.
So how it
How you
was.
said that just had so much desperation.
Yeah, it's, dude,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
dude, the teacher hated me.
I forgot lines once, and it's fucking. There's like a pit in your stomach. You're just like, fuck.
I'm sure
because you're
that's
standing up there.
Oh my God.
Silence. And our class was designed like he would give you a script of probably 10 pages maybe of just dialogue that you would act out with a partner. You do that 3 times on stage
In a row?
No, like throughout the semester.
Oh, okay.
And then like you'd be able to work with them, try to memorize lines and everything. And you'd get up there in front of the whole class. Like every day, everybody went and acted out their scene together. And then it was like, he just sat back and graded you while everyone else was watching. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
McKay was like God tier at acting as well as his partner. And then I
Noah?
got put with someone who was just as bad at acting and remembering lines as me. So our teacher would just set us up for failure. And then he would get mad.
Yeah, Reese would get pissed.
Like
Really?
another line would come by that I wouldn't know. He'd be like, you could just hear it under his breath.
Right,
God
you
damn it.
just-
Someone give him the line. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like,
sorry. Yeah, no, it was,
So were you part of the Krogstad production?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, because that was. No,
Oh, yeah.
Do you know your character's name from it? Do you remember it? No.
Damn.
I only remember it because of you. And like you, because I was trying to memorize my
really
lines.
Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck.
You had that one
Stuck.
Which one?
scene, right?
With-
the one.
With Noah?
Yeah.
Is that one? Yeah, that one was pretty good. We talked about, it was about a play about just like a brother. Like I was the older brother. He was my little brother. And we just talked about like jerking off basically.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was
Really?
super weird.
It was really
Our
weird. but
teacher was
I got-
like, yeah.
yeah.
Good stuff.
I feel like you gotta be
very like uncomfortable
I
about
got
it.
an A+ though, so.
you gotta be pretty whack to be like a theater teacher. Aren't they like
Yeah. Oh,
super
yeah.
like
Oh my
emotional and
Super just like, dude, we would start every like class. I love Reese. He was a great teacher, but we would start every class. He'd just bring up his phone, read the news about politics. I was like, fucking shit, just stop. Oh my, because everybody would have an opinion. Everyone would start talking. I'm just sitting there like, oh my
He's one
God.
of those guys like
So
you gotta get the emotion like from your knees and bring it up and
Well,
like
it was like what he wanted. He was like, fuck, I forgot what it was. It was about like,
if you forget the line, can't you just kind of improv?
I mean, you can.
you would think, but
Yeah, I
every
mean,
time I
film-
try to
film
improv,
is
he'd be
way-
like, calm down, don't even try.
Film is way different. Film is like, cut, you forgot your line.
Don't those
Cut.
actors
And
improv all the time?
stage
though?
is fucking hard. Stage, you got to remember the whole fucking play for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Can I get a parlay?
Parlay.
Why is that on the table?
What? Oh, that's a good question.
This guy?
Yeah.
Ooh, get that out of here.
Down.
There we go. So McKay, I know you probably took the class because like that's what you were majoring in. Jason,
Yes.
Are you majoring or did you major in acting?
It's kind of strange how I ended up there. I was at Heartland. It was my second year, and I remember I was trying to knock out all these gen eds and stuff because it was like crunch time. Because it was my last semester and I had to get in like all these different things in order to qualify for the associates and stuff. And that was one of my options. And I was like, yo, like that sounds kind of fun. Like I feel like I could definitely vibe with that. And like I was watching That 70s during the time and you know, Kelso.
Yeah.
And that's it, like how he's just a goof and shit. I felt like I could do stuff along the lines of that, except when we got into the class, it was nothing but really serious and like very, and I just wanted to get in and fuck around and like have a, you know what I mean? So like
it was taken like just kind of too serious. Like other people took it like way too seriously.
You gotta
like lived and breathed it, dude.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I'm just over here like, dude, I have to be here for 3 hours and watch you fuckers act.
They, like
and
slept
you
with
suck.
their like packet of lines, just like
A big part of it was watching other people perform.
Yeah, you had to like watch them and then like not like critique them, but kind of just I don't know. It was annoying.
If you're looking for more of like just the funny thing, you got to do improv, man. One of our buddies
there's
back
not
in
really
school.
classes.
Well, there's
Alec,
the improv
dude,
club.
Alec doing improv, that was awesome.
Shout out Alec.
I don't think I'd be very good at improv.
Who's Alec?
He was one of our buddies from school. He was in the
He was
improv
really
team,
good.
and we used to go to the shows. Hilarious.
Oh, so funny.
Awesome.
So
I
funny.
loved going to the improv shows.
Yeah, no, this acting class was strange. It was weird.
you mean like improv, like whose line is it anyway? Kind of.
Yeah, like they would just get up there and get a line. And
That
then
looks so fun, dude.
it was pretty.
It really
It
does.
was pretty awesome. Remember those
it's
girls
definitely
like
funny.
fucking collided?
Yeah,
So, like,
she like broke
between-
her nose,
Yeah.
bleeding, and she played it off.
So what happened was like at the end of every improv scene, they would go to each side or they'd go like whoosh and everybody would run to the opposite side of the stage. And these two girls obviously weren't looking, just head to head smack. Some girl's forehead hit some girl's nose, broke her nose. She was bleeding. This girl had a bump just in the middle of her head and they kept going. I was like,
That like started the next scene.
right.
I forget what it was.
It was wild.
Oh, James is getting a FaceTime on.
Oh,
No,
you have to answer it. You have to answer it.
Oh, I missed it.
You hung up on him.
Boo.
If he calls back.
Decline. Oh.
Jeez.
All right, so that was my opening statement.
All right, nice. So
Wow.
let's get into. Should we ask some questions? Or should we do some? Tell me what I want to hear.
Why don't we have Jason introduce himself a little bit?
Jason,
How about that?
introduce yourself.
Oh my God. Sorry. Just,
All right. Well, hey, my name is Jason. I'm
Last name, please.
Robert. So sorry. Oh, shit. Jason Roberts. I'm 23. I just graduated from ISU. That was a haul. I am currently working at State Farm. That's new.
Nice.
Nice.
Pretty wild there. I'm in a band called Jumping Ship.
Love the name.
Thanks,
a great
man.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my questions is actually where'd that name come from?
So it's funny that you say that. My buddy, the guitarist in the band, is a big fan of this other band called Counterparts, which I actually haven't listened to myself, but there's a song, it's his favorite song by them, and it's called Jumping Ship. And he was like, dude, that name just slaps. Like, we should
That's
really do
pretty
something
Dude,
with that.
Everything is built off of taking
really
someone
is,
else's
though.
thing,
Yeah.
just tweaking it a little
really
bit.
is. But like, we were gonna originally do something with it for like a song title.
Yeah.
And then we were like, dude, fuck it. Like, let's make it the actual band name. Like, that would be sick.
That's awesome.
So like, that was just like undisputed. Like, we didn't even. Oh shit. Smacking the table. We didn't even have to like dispute other names or anything. Like once that kind of
You knew
came
it.
around, it was like, yeah, dude, like that's it. We
questions.
don't even want to.
I definitely like it.
Thanks,
I definitely
man.
like it.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you do most like punk rock. I mean,
Yeah.
I listened to
Or
a few of the
pop-
songs.
Yeah, like
punk.
pop,
Punk?
punk
Is that what-
rock,
that-
like
that was
pop
one of my
punk. It's like
questions. What
right
is the
in that
genre?
like
Yeah.
subfield.
That
They all
is-
kind of blend a little bit.
which is awesome because again, throwing it back to childhood.
Right.
Whenever I hear like a punk rock song,
dude.
that's like straight to like, you know, being 8, 10 years old.
Better days,
just
man.
like running around doing nothing,
My
listening
head's
to
going through a wall.
Simple Plan.
I don't even know why.
Some 41, shit like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I like that you're bringing it back.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it
awesome.
for real is something that's cool about it is I feel like one way or another, like whether someone like really likes it or not, it's like the genre overall. I feel like everyone kind of has like I like being kind of angsty.
Yeah,
because
I like to
there's
kinda get
people who
wild.
don't like country like no matter what, or don't like rap no matter what. But
Right.
that it's kind of
Everyone
like
does.
Yeah.
Because anyone our age, punk rock like brings you back to like, you
It's
know,
nostalgic.
childhood. Nostalgic.
Yeah, right.
Everyone
awesome.
likes punk rock.
I
Everyone
didn't
can
grow up
listen
in a
to you like Black Parade. Everyone loves that song. Like just kind of like punk alternative rock type stuff. So yeah, it's big time.
Did you have like a name before jumping ship that you guys were kind of rolling with?
Honestly, we didn't have a name before, but we didn't have a name for a long ass time.
Really?
Yeah, like we were together for probably 3 months before we even came up with a name. Because for the beginning, it was such a feeling out process of like whether things were even gonna be serious or like work out and stuff. Which, in all honesty, like looking back, it's it's probably like I say it all the time. It's like a 1 in a million shot. The fact that like I happened to meet these guys the way that I did and things kind of came together the way that they did and stuff. And like, so to answer that, I get on these random like tangents. You're going to notice
Dude,
that.
you're
So
good.
it would just bring me back.
And you brought up a thing I wanted to ask. Like, how'd you guys form? Like, are you
was what I was
friends
gonna
with all
ask.
these
That's
guys?
a story.
Did we all just have the same fucking question?
That's
The
definitely a
generic,
story.
like,
So, 3 of the members that are in my band now, there's 5 of us total. 3 of them were in a band before this band. They played in high school. So when they were in high school, they were forming together and kind of making music and stuff. They did this whole thing with their like school. There's like a battle of the bands thing going on. Yeah, it's kind of just like, a local competition in the high school. But whoever won that got to actually record an EP with like a local mixer and stuff. So basically these guys did that when we were in high school. They all went to West and I went to Normal. So I didn't know any of these guys, even though we're from the same town.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives like a little background on them and how I kind of discovered them as a junior in college. At ISU, I was taking a music business class, and a big project that we had to do for the class was we had to interview and do like projects over local bands here in town. And so I'm looking through all these local bands and stuff, and 95% of the bands here in town are all
trash.
Yeah. I mean, but
Right.
a lot of them are like country based and stuff too, which there's nothing wrong with at all. But, I just kind of, Jesus Christ, I kept looking around, and like I ended up finding their band that they were in high school. And so I did a full blown report on them, obviously unbiased. Like I had no idea who these kids were or anything.
That's crazy.
I really liked their sound. I liked their music. They had 2 EPs, so like 8 songs in total. And I legit just gave a full-blown speech, presentation to my class at ISU, basically saying like, hey, I actually really enjoyed doing this project because I found these guys. I really, really like their music and they're dope. Like, and I basically was saying like how much I wish I was a part of that and stuff, like, which is kind of ironic now. It really is. But I was like, these guys probably just have so much fun. And like, if you want to throw your head through a wall and like have a good time, just listen to these guys because they're sick. I really like them. And anyway, we're going to fast forward a little bit through that. It's going to be a weird track here. My senior year at ISU, my last year, it was towards the end of my first semester. You know how finals get, like, you really shouldn't be like partying and shit. Like, you really shouldn't be. You should be locking down, especially your last year.
You're talking to the wrong people if you think that.
But so my buddy who I met, this is going to get wild. Bear with me. I have a friend, my friend Nick, who I've known since I was 3. He's a family friend. So we've been friends our entire lives. And I hung out with him a week before this happened. Jesus. His friend, Drew, who's in my band, he's the one who we got together and basically just hashed out this night, and like everything kind of formed after that. I met Drew through Nick, and a week later, Drew hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, like, you want to come to my place? We're doing this like little get together party and stuff. Like, should be pretty chill." And it was like a Monday night, and I was like, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I would have said yes.
Right.
But like I had a fat test the next day in the morning, and I'm like, dude, there's just no way. So I was like 99% not going originally, but eventually I just kind of came around to, I'm like, you know, I'll just go for a beer. You know, what's one
That's
beer?
how it always starts.
It never stops at just that.
Right.
So I go over. First of all, it was a fun ass night. It was great. But that one beer turned into me all of a sudden slapping the bag or whatever, the wine bag, which was the first time I've ever done that.
Dude, that's like the Boathouse when we just had that vodka night. It was like a Tuesday. We always got hammered off a bottle of vodka. It's just like those
That sounds
random.
chill. I love that.
That was Pete. But it was just one of those random times where it was just like, yeah, fuck it. Why not? It's Tuesday. I got class at 9 a.m., whatever. No big deal.
It's spark, you know, sometimes you just,
that's college.
You get a spark.
Yeah. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to add a detail, by the way. Jesus, this is going to be even harder to track back on. My friend Drew, when I was hanging out with Nick and Drew was there, he was telling me, he was like, "Oh my God, dude, like I'm getting to fill in with this band here in town for a show." And I was like, "Yo, like, who are you filling in for? That's so sick. Like, I'm jealous." And it was the same band
that I
did the report on. And I was like, "Nah, like, you're fucking playing, right? Like, there's no way that you're actually doing that."
Did they have a name? Like before?
Yeah, Call Me in the Morning.
Call Me in the
name
Morning.
Of the band.
Okay.
Savage.
I like jumping shit better. But yeah.
Thank you. So I was jealous as fuck. Like, I was like, dude, like, no way. Like, I've been wanting to do stuff with music for so long, and like, you just kind of got called up, and like, you know, like, you're just doing your thing. And he was like, "Yeah, man, like, we're getting together, and like, we're gonna play a show." So of course I'm jealous as fuck, but I'm like happy for him at the same time. Like, it's one of those like proud moments where you're like, yeah.
You want to hate him, but you can't. Yeah.
So that ties into a week later when I got together with Drew at his place. I'm slapping the bag or whatever. All of a sudden the night's kind of getting away. You know, school doesn't really matter the next day because you're like half a slap bag or whatever. And you know how like alcohol can kind of give you that like liquor confidence.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
Did you start singing for him?
I didn't, but I shot my shot and I grabbed him. I was like, "Drew, come on, man. Get me in that band. I don't care what you got to do. Like, you guys could definitely use a singer, right? Like, you know, like all this stuff." And, you know, I was just fucking with him, but also like low key,
kind of serious
as fuck. And he just looked at me and he was like, "All right, bet. Like, I'll talk to him."
Hell yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, actually though?" And sure enough, like a few days later, he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, we're going to go meet up with 2 other guys who are in that band and just kind of like chat, like talk about things." This feels so nostalgic to talk about that right now.
That's awesome.
Because that was about a year ago.
Damn. It's already been that long.
And yeah, it has flown though. Life is crazy, dude. But no, like I went over there to Patrick's house. I love how this is a 10-minute story, by the way.
It's all right. It's an interview, right?
I went over to Patrick's house, who is one of the members of the band, and there was 4 of us there, and we just started chatting about things. First of all, I was like low key, like kind of starstruck, because that's the first time I ever met. Like even, you know, they weren't necessarily like.
Were you starstruck when you walked in here?
Hell yeah. You guys see your setup? Holy shit.
It's like, I don't know. People be like, Dude, just wait till people are like, you're the Bad News Clams guy, aren't you? Aren't you? You're like, yep, yeah, I am.
No, but that's awesome. And
Yeah.
and you took it and you ran with it, and now you got a record deal, right?
Yeah, we signed with We Are Triumphant Records, which we're extremely excited about.
That's awesome. I
And
haven't looked into them at all, but
They're based.
Oh, no,
they're
yeah.
based out of L.A.
yeah, they're from
Sweet.
California. I'm not sure if they're from
L.A.
LA specifically, but
That's fucking awesome, man.
so
well,
what
thanks,
was,
man. Yeah,
what-
yeah.
Like how does that come up? Do you have to like pitch it to them, or do they like find you and be
So-
like, hey, your music rocks? We kind of want.
Yeah.
Probably a
to
little
sign
bit
you
of
guys.
both, I would assume.
Yeah, probably.
Part
Like-
of it, like with music, I learned so much in this past year, like how like intricate, like how wild music can be to actually like work with. Like it's
Yeah.
so much more behind the scenes, and it really makes you appreciate, you know, the people who are on top of the game right now, or like, you know, really excelling with music, because you're like, oh shit, like that. There's way more in that than it seems. Basically, what you could do is like with our EP, Happy Enough, we could essentially post that out, like try and get in contact
Yeah.
with other record labels, and basically essentially shoot our shot and be like,
Right.
hey, like please sign us, please.
we think we're pretty good.
Yeah, we're desperate. But we honestly, we got really fortunate in the sense where on Spotify, they do these very, I can't think of the word. They'll, there's like a system on Spotify that will like correlate